How are you? Come over here,
Sri Radhe, Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Sri Radhe. Guruve Dodachandaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukkum Karoti Vachalam Pangu Langate Giri Yat Kripa Tamam Vande Shri Guru Dinatarini Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. So first of all I offer pranams millions of times lotus feet of Gurudev, Om Vishnu Pads, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Nityalila Prishya Gaur Govinda Maharaj, Nityalila Prishya Bhaktivedanta Chidakam Maharaj, Nityalila Prishya Bhaktivedanta Bhaman Maharaj, Om Vishnu Pads Bhakti Maharaj, Madhusudan Maharaj, all Vaishnavis, thank you for coming. So cold weather and rain has kept away some people. Has kept them from the 10th canto. Someone missing the other days, I had no problem so much. But missing 10th canto, it's just like someone who chops up the vegetables, cooks the pot, cooks the feast. So many hours, then misses the Sunday feast. So this morning we hear the charming childhood pastimes of Krishna. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusandayama sutta bhajate tatsa kritva srutvaya tat paroga. Why Krishna comes to this world? Because by performing his pastimes, the devotees in this world who hear about them can become so much attached to him. That is the special power of Krishna. Therefore, Sada Sevya, Srimad Bhagavatiya Kitab, Yat Savana Matrena Chittim Yas Haddar Harima Sayed. Therefore, always hear this Bhagavat Katha. Always hear this Bhagavat Katha. One who hears this even once, Krishna takes shelter within their mind. So we heard how last night Shri Krishna appeared. He appeared in Mathura in a four-armed form, but he was born in Braj, directly from the womb of Yasoda. Therefore Sukadeva Goswami said, Atmaja. Nanda Maharaj, for the benefit of his own child, Nanda is to Atmajat Sampad. Otherwise, unless Nanda Baba was, if really Krishna was the son of Vasudeva, then why Sukadeva Goswami said Nanda Baba gave for Atmajat, his own child, he would have said for someone else's child. One reason Guru Maharaj describes why Sukadeva Goswami did not explain everything directly. Because otherwise Krishna's relationship with the gopis, then it would be like a family relationship. And people would criticize. Also to give Parikshit Maharaj some happiness. Krishna is related to my dynasty also. For that reason, two reasons Sukadeva Goswami explained. So Krishna had began his thieving activities. When people hear the absolute truth, steals, they become shocked. And why not? Even Vedas become shocked. So Krishna's thieving activities, really, according to philosophy, he is not stealing because everything belongs to him. Why Krishna is not stealing from our fridge? He's not stealing vada, he's stealing the hearts of the gopis and gopis of Braj. So Mother Yasoda also wondering, I have 900,000 cows. Why my son will steal butter from another's house? It could be the maidservants are not paying proper attention during the time of preparation, therefore the butter may be rancid, sour. Therefore Mother Yasoda thought, today I will make with my own hands. That was the day of Deepavali. Therefore sending all the maidservants and servants home for holidays. This day with her own hands she milked the special cow, black colored cow. I think her name was Padmaganda. And with her own hands she made yogurt and began churning. Mother Yasoda had a saffron yellow sari on. She was a little bit chubby, but very beautiful. After why not? Her son is so beautiful, where that beauty came from. Thus she was churning the yogurt, and with her eyes closed, absorbed in remembering the childhood pastimes of her son, she was chanting, Govinda Damo Dhanamada Govinda Damo Dhanamada Govinda Damo Dhanamada Govinda Damo Dhanamada Govinda Mera Hai Gopal Mera Hai Govinda Mera Hai Gopal Mera Hai. Many kirtan. And where Krishna is hearing his name chanted, can he remain far from that place? He is running there. Aham tistami vaikunta yoginam vidhyasiva tatata tishtati narad tatra mad bhakti gayanti. I do not live in Vaikuntha Narad. I do not live in the hearts of the yogis. I live where the devotees chant my name. So Krishna got up and went there. But Yasoda never paid him any attention. Such is the nature of the name of Krishna. Sometimes it may even be more than Krishna himself. Therefore Mother Yasoda's eyes were closed as she chanted the name. And Krishna, he was very hungry, he grabbed the churning stick and also the top of Mother Yasoda's cloth that was covering her hair. When Mother Yasoda felt that hand upon her head, she took Krishna and began breastfeeding. So while she was breastfeeding Krishna, then on the stove was a pot of milk. That milk was thinking, alas, my life is useless. But neither Krishna's hunger will be finished, and neither Yasoda's milk will be finished, like a competition. Krishna's desire to taste prem is unlimited, and Mother Yasoda's ability to give prem, that is also unlimited. So when I will get chance to do any seva, the milk thought, without seva my life is useless. Like Narottam Das Thakur, he's saying, for what happiness I'm maintaining my life, better I die. So milk thought my life is zero, and began boiling over onto the fire. Then Mother Yasoda is very kind. She's not just interested in herself serving Krishna. She wants everyone to serve Krishna. One time Guru Maharaj said, oh, you yourself are doing bhajan, this is nothing extraordinary. But that you will get others to do bhajan, that is extraordinary. So Mother Yasoda, the best of the bhajan, and goes to Nandis. She gave up Krishna for Krishna. She gave up her direct seva to Krishna to help others to do seva to Krishna. In other words, Guru Maharaj says she abandoned Krishna for Krishna. Don't die. Don't give up your life. Mother Yasoda said, from you I'll make many things. Sandesh, burfi, yogurt, paneer, rasgula. From my milk I cannot make anything. Therefore, do not die. And she saved the milk, then Krishna became very angry. I'm very hungry, and Mother Yasoda left me. Therefore I will take revenge. Is this a fault of Mother Yasoda? What, does Mother Yasoda love the milk more, or does she love Krishna? What do you think, Yuri? Wrong. She loves Krishna Seva more than Krishna. People hear this, they become excited. What? Mother Yasoda loves the milk more than Krishna? Yes. Is it a symptom of devotion? Anya mamata Vishnu ananya pramasangate bhakti uchate Vishnu Pralada Narada Uddhava. Narada, Prahlad and Uddhava have all declared what is the symptom of prem? Ananta mamata Vishnu, unlimited feelings of possessiveness for Vishnu, as well as excessive attachment for that which is related to Vishnu is a symptom of prem. If someone loves something, everything belonging to that person is also dear. Therefore, the symptom of prem is one is more attached to Krishna's service than to Krishna. If one loves Krishna, one must also love that which is related to Krishna. Therefore, Thakur Bhaktivinoda is saying that. Udipak. Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kutiya Govardhan Parvata Yamute. These things are my life and soul. Thakur Bhaktivinoda says. The bank of Govardhan, the hill of Govardhan, the banks of Radhakund and Shampoo. The cows, peacocks, flutes, trees, the bank of the Yamuna, Gokul. These things are more dear to me than my life. I will never go where those things are not. So, the nature of the devotee, he loves that which is related to Krishna also. Sometimes it may be more. That is not a fault. Therefore, the topmost manifestation of prem is found in the Brijbasi. Therefore, in Vrindavan, what do they chant? Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe Bole Sab Krishna Na Bole Koi. In Vrindavan, no one chants Krishna Krishna. Maybe some new guys from Delhi. Krishna Krishna. And after a few days, they also learn. No, Radhe Radhe. Why? Because that which is beloved of Krishna must be beloved of the devotees. All devotees love Radharani even more than Krishna. Krishna is angry by that. Krishna is very pleased by that. He becomes very satisfied. For Vrindavan Kubrikshko Marmana Janakoi Dal Dal Patra Patra Radhe Radhe Koi. For all the trees, all the creepers, grass, what to speak of moving entities like humans, all chant Radhe 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 Radhe. This is a symptom of prem. So Krishna became angry. He tried to push that churning pot of yogurt over, but because it was very much heavy, he could not. And what to do? He looked, he saw the stone used for grinding masala. He took that stone and made a hole, not in the top of the pot, but in the bottom of the pot. Why then all the yogurt pressure would go down and that yogurt was squirting across the room. Krishna very happy. And then he became afraid. Oh my goodness. Mother Yasoda will definitely punish me. I'm in big trouble now. So he fled. But he was still hungry. What to do? Therefore, as he was running, he looked on the roof and he saw those pots of butter hanging there. So Krishna pulled one grinding mortar over, and standing on that grinding mortar, he began looting, stealing all the butter, and distributing that butter to the cows and to the crows and the monkeys. Because crows did so much seva for Lord Ram, Kag Goswami. And monkeys did so much seva, but Ram could not serve them very nicely. Because in the jungle, what can you give them? Some fruits, and that is also self-service, fend for yourself. So Ram felt so much indebted to those monkeys. Krishna tried to repay that debt by giving them butter. Krishna not eating himself first, he is feeding the devotee, then he is taking. Then Mother Yasoda, when she came back, she saw that pot had been broken, the yogurt was all over the room, and she became angry. Oh yes, I will teach Krishna a good lesson this time. So picking up one stick, she wondered, where has it gone? Then Krishna forgot, butter sticks to the soles of the feet. When you run, it leaves a mark. Therefore Mother Yasoda followed those greasy footprints, and she saw the sight of Krishna distributing her butter to the monkeys and crows, and like a cat, she crept up on Krishna. Krishna had his back to Mother Yasoda, could not see what was coming, but the monkeys and crows, they could see what's coming. Therefore they began running for their lives. And Krishna think, why they were running? As the light bulb went on, he jumped off the grinding water. Mother Yasoda missed him by that much. And Krishna began running. Krishna, no high-class woman will run in public. Mother Yasoda will never run on the main highway, the main road of Gokul. Therefore Krishna ran on that main road, but Krishna forgot today was Deepavali, everyone was home. Therefore Mother Yasoda began chasing. Who can catch Krishna? Krishna already had a head start, so if she ran at the same pace as Krishna, she could not have captured him. Therefore Mother Yasoda had to run faster than Krishna, then she could catch him. If we love Krishna the same as Krishna loves us, you cannot catch him. Our love is so conditional. Krishna gives us pizza on the Sunday feast. Oh Krishna, you are very kind, I love you. If Krishna gives us so many things, then we love Krishna. Imagine Krishna just gave us oatmeal. Then we'd see where is our prem. Chalo, I'm going back to ISKCON. How do you go? If you only love Guru and Krishna as much as they love you, you cannot catch them. You have to love them more. So Mother Yasoda, when she was running, she saw Krishna's feet very soft. How much pain he must feel on the hard stones of Gokul. When she was thinking that Krishna, she caught him. I will beat you. She raised the stick and Krishna is weeping and rubbing his eyes like a panda bear. You see a panda bear? Big black circles here. Krishna rubbing his eyes. First he can only rub one eye because Mother Yasoda has caught the other hand. Therefore one eye is like a panda bear. How you can rub two eyes with one hand? So therefore, like from the eye where the kajal had not been erased, that was, the tears were flowing down his chest like the Ganga. And from that eye where the kajal had been mixed by his hand, that flowed like the blackish Yamuna. And both meeting on the prayag of his chest. Then Mother Yasoda said, why did you, oh friend of the monkeys, why you broke my pot? That pot was very old, maybe how many generations in the family of Nanda Baba? Why you broke my pot? Krishna said, I did not break, you broke. How? If you see in Rajasthan area, Braj also, Brajamandal, ankle bells very thick. When you were running, you broke the pot. When you ran to save the milk, I did not break. And Mother Yasoda said, who is feeding the monkeys? Who made the monkeys? He is feeding the monkeys. Don't blame me. Then Mother Yasoda said, I know you are a thief, chore. And Krishna said, I am not a chore, thief. Because Krishna had every evening in Gokul, for entertainment, that time there was no television or Yahoo or YouTube or anything. People would actually read Shastra. Therefore Puranic histories, family histories. So baby Krishna also hearing. So Krishna heard one of his mother's forefathers. His name was Chor Ghosh. So Krishna said, there's no chor, no thief in my father's line, but the thief is in your line. So Mother Yasoda went to beat Krishna and Krishna was weeping. Rudantam muhunetram yugmam rajantam karamboja yugmena satanka netram muhuswasakam pati rekankakam tastitagrevam damo dhamma bhakti bhava. Is Krishna pretending to be afraid? No. Because after when Kunti's prayers to Krishna, after Krishna saved Parikshit in the womb, then she said, Yad Bhava Bhavito. Astonishing, because Yad Bhavati Swayam Bhayam, death is afraid of the name of Krishna. But Krishna was afraid of his mother, and Krishna is not pretending, otherwise Mother Yasoda would not have been astonished. So Kunti must have been there in Braj. The relationship is there with Vasudeva Maharaj. Therefore Krishna would always address Kunti as auntie. So not impossible, she was in Braj and saw that time. Therefore Krishna was not pretending to be afraid, he was afraid. Such is the wonderful workings of Krishna's Lila Shakti, Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is so astonishing, even Krishna becomes astonished. What's happening? Yoga Maya makes Krishna forget he is Bhagavan. And Yoga Maya makes his devotees forget that he is Bhagavan. Mother Yasoda is not thinking, I am liberated Nityasthi Padika. She's thinking, I am Gopi, wife of Nanda. And Krishna also forgetting, I am the cause of all causes. He's thinking, I am the son of Yasoda, now I am in big trouble. So Mother Yasoda again, I will beat you, and Krishna is weeping, and really weeping and afraid. His chest is shaking, causing the 3 lines on his abdomen to also shake. And his heart also shaking. I have displeased Mother. So Mother is sort of thinking, if I let him go now, because he's in such a fearful state, he may run into the jungle. Therefore, for Krishna's benefit, she bound him. I must bind my son. Otherwise, out of fear, he may do something. Also, I must punish him. If parents do not punish the child will be spoiled. Therefore, spare the rod, spoil the child. Right, Kanaya? If I do my duty, I must. This is duty of parents. So Mother Yasoda took the braid from her hair, one rope Indian ladies wear in their hair to make their hair look extra long. So Krishna's waist is only thin, like the size of a fist. Krishna is only 2 or 3 years old. And that grinding mortar is not so very big also, but astonishingly, when she went to tie Krishna's waist to the grinding mortar, 2 fingers too short. Mother Yasoda was astonished. She called her Sakis, bring another rope. That rope was joined, but when the rope was bound around Krishna's waist, it became 2 fingers too short. Mother Yasoda ordered another rope. All the ropes of Gokul were brought. It seems as if Mother Yasoda had opened a rope shop. All the ropes in Gokul, and how many ropes, cowherd men, how many ropes they have? Mother Yasoda was perspiring. Her face was red. The flowers were dropping from her hair. I must bind myself. And she was praying to Lord Narayan. Oh Lord Vishnu, you maintain everyone, you won't maintain me. Please, I must bind myself. The other gopis were laughing, Yasoda, it's not written on his forehead or his palm that you will bind your son to death. Mother Yasoda said, I must bind myself. And she prayed to Lord Vishnu, please help me to bind my son. She could not understand that Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, was there, the source of millions of Vishnus. When Krishna saw her hard endeavor, her perspiration, her deep desire to bind him, then Kripaya Asya Swabandha. Krishna by his mercy allowed himself to be bound. Who can imagine the mercy given to Mother Yasoda? He said, Na Burinchina Babam, Na Siyanda Samshaya, Prasadam Lamane Dati, Muktabandha Samuktada. Krishna gives liberation to all, therefore his name is Mukunda. But today, who will give him liberation? Mother Yasoda bound him. Therefore that mercy given to Mother Yasoda was never given to anyone. Na Burinchi Na Baba. Not to Lord Brahma, nor to Lord Shiva, na Striyanga Samshaya, nor to Lakshmi Devi who resides on his chest. Therefore Krishna showed, I am only bound by the Brijavasis. And those who follow in the footsteps of the Brijavasis, only they can bind him. So Krishna was bound, and Mother Yasoda made sure the knot was behind on his back, and very hard to undo. Like police when they handcuff you behind your back. Then Mother Yasoda went leaving Krishna bound there, but her mind was absorbed in thinking of her child. She could not perform her household duties properly. All the friends of Krishna were also laughing. Hari Kanaya, today you got a good lesson, huh? And they were laughing. So when Mother Yashoda would look at Krishna, he would cry. When Mother Yashoda would look away, he would laugh. And the friends were saying, now, Krishna did not want to be bound originally because now he's playing with the checked. So therefore the friends with Krishna pulled the grinding mortar outside into the courtyard. In that courtyard was 2 trees growing from one root. They were the twin Yamalajuna trees. Krishna remembered, I have to fulfill the words of my devotee Narad Rishi. To liberate these 2 boys, the 2 sons of Kuvera, who had been cursed by Narad to become trees. Kuvera is a good devotee, friend of Lord Shiva also. Therefore, out of friendship for Kuvera, the great sage Narad Rishi came to heavenly planets, where those 2 boys were sporting. Janma Aisware Sudasvi Demanya Puman Mada, one who has great wealth, great beauty, great learning and high birth, very hard for them to worship Krishna with feeling. Why Edamanya Puman Mada? It causes madness, intoxication and pride. Especially wealth causes the greatest pride. Because when you've got money, you get everything. When you get money, you get women. You see the fat, ugly guys. You have money, beautiful, beautiful women are chasing behind them. If you have money, you're automatically educated. If you're not educated personally, you can buy it. Like Ford, I think, never finished high school. Someone said, why don't you get educated? I said, no need of, I need a PhD, I just buy one. I just hire someone. You have money, you have that. You have money automatically. Even scholars, even royalty will follow behind you if you have wealth. Therefore Narad saw these boys. When Narad came along the path, the women became ashamed. The young girls uncovered themselves and ran into the forest. And how much those boys became angry? Hey, come back here. Why these girls are running away? Therefore they saw Narad Rishi coming down the path, singing the holy name. Narad Muni Bajai Dinu Radhikara Name Haribol, Haribol, Radhe Radhe. Then the boys became angry. Baba, you could not find anywhere else to Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Why you have to come along this path? Therefore the boys became angry and they came out of the water completely naked. And they had just been with many girls, you could imagine their condition. They began abusing Narad. And Narad, too much mercy. And he said, I will teach you a good lesson. All these things about wealth we were talking about, Narad stopped there. Wealth causes the biggest forgetfulness of Krishna. Therefore I will give you mercy. What is that? Dalindra Anjana. I will give you the eyes of poverty. Because a poor man always is humble. Generally speaking. One who is poor, his senses become weak, therefore he cannot enjoy very much. Only if you eat 5 kilos of paneer and many things, organic salads, then you become strong. Therefore, good for body to be a little weak. Otherwise the senses and the body is too strong, then how you control them? Therefore I'll give you this Anjan. Anjan means eyeline of poverty. Because one who is poor, how much they suffer. One who is poor can understand the suffering of others. And one who is poor automatically controls his senses and offers respects to all. Therefore I will give you these eyes of poverty, then you will see things properly as they are. Therefore of all species of life, which is the poorest? Tree. Tree has nothing of his own. Fruit, leaves, bark, wood is taken by others. Even the poorest man can ask for a glass of water. The tree cannot ask. Even the poorest man can find a blanket, go under the shade of a tree. The tree cannot go under the shade of anyone. Therefore, of all species of life, the poorest is the tree. The cursed shall become trees. As soon as the words came from the mouth of Narad, their bodies began hardening to trees. They fell at the feet of Narad. Give mercy to us, please be kind, we are sorry. And Narad said, my words cannot be false, but I give you a blessing. You will be trees, but where? In the courtyard of Marsh. Is that a small thing, birth in Vrindavan? I don't want to discourage people, but how hard to take birth in Vrindavan. First, you have to reach the stage of Anantanavritti. Bhagavat. Means after you become free from all desires, all obstacles in devotion, one achieves the stage of ruchi. When that ruchi matures, it becomes asakti. Attachment to Krishna. Before is only attachment to bhajan, but in asakti, Krishna appears in the mind. Attachment is there for Krishna, not just chanting here. But the difference between ruchi and asakti. In ruchi one has taste for the practices of bhajan, but in asakti one has taste for Radha Krishna directly. And in the stage of Bhava Bhakti, that is the Prem Suryansa Samyuga, that is the first ray of the sun of Krishna Prem, Bhava Bhakti Sudurva. How rare is Bhava Bhakti? When you achieve Bhava Bhakti, what will happen? Next life, Yogamaya will transfer you to the womb of a gopi in the material world where Krishna is performing his pastimes. So how rare, how difficult. There are two types of perfected beings. One is perfect Nitya-Siddh, one is eternally perfected. Three types. One is eternally perfected. One becomes perfected by practicing spiritual life, that is called Sadhana-Siddh. And the third one is called Kripa-Siddh, one becomes perfect as by mercy. Nal Kuvera, Manigriva, examples of Kripa-Siddh. They never did anything. No chanting Harinam, no Mangalati. Look like someone here. No chanting Harinam, no Mangalati, no nothing, no sadhu-sang, no distributing, no pious activities. What do they do? Only grace of sadhu, Haribol. This is Kripa-Siddh. Perfection by mercy. The Prophet said don't rely on that. And sometimes university is giving some PhD by grace. But don't rely on that, that is very rare. So they became trees. He blessed them, you'll be trees in the courtyard where Krishna appears. And you'll be liberated by the Lord himself. So when Krishna was dragging, there was grinding water outside, he remembered the promise of Narad. That as he was pulling the grinding stone came wedged between the trees. Then Krishna pulled very hard. Krishna pulled. Therefore Krishna did not liberate the trees. Who liberated the trees? Not even the grinding water. Who? That rope attached to the grinding water. And what was that rope? That is Mother Yasoda's prayer. So really Mother Yasoda liberated the trees, not Krishna. So as soon as those trees were pulled, they fell apart on each side of Krishna with a huge sound. When the Brijvasi heard the sound, they came running. Two demigods appeared out of the trees and offered prayers to Krishna. We are now seeing you face to face by the mercy of Narad Rishi. And Krishna spoke to the two boys, Sadhunam samachitaram sutanam mat kritashanam dasanam bhavabandana Krishna pumsa sadhito reki. Oh boys, now you are getting a result of association with the sadhu. One who sees the sadhu face to face, from that time the bondage of mind will not be affected just by seeing a sadhu. And immediately attraction to Krishna awakens in the heart, just by going face to face with the one-pointed devotee of Krishna. Therefore, boys, you are seeing these by the grace of Narad Rishi. Mani Grivananda Kuber Ki Jai. They entered the spiritual world and both became singers, Madhukant, Snigdhakant. They achieved complete perfection, Vastusi, entering the direct pastimes of Krishna. They both had very sweet voices. Snigdhakant and Madhukant. One would sing in the assembly of Nanda Maharaj, the general pastimes of Krishna. When Krishna takes prasad after to digest the food, they have many clowns, acrobats, poets, singers, speakers. They entertain the Brijavasis after prasad. So one of them, Snigdhakanta, entered and became one of those singers of general Krishna Lila. And Madhukant used to sing the pastimes only concerned with the Brajagopis. I've not read anywhere, I'm thinking it may be like one type of Priyanam or something. Otherwise, how you can know all these things about the Brajagopis? So when that noise came, huge sound, and those trees were gigantic, somehow they fell on either side of Krishna. Nanda Baba came and easily handled the rope, and he was very angry. Who has tied Krishna to this crying water? Then Krishna said, Mother. Mother has tied Yasoda. She is so cruel. Saying that Nanda Baba took, what happened if Krishna had been killed? He took Krishna and Balaram each on one shoulder and went to Brahmanda Ghat. All day he stayed there. Mother Yasoda was so much remorse. Only weeping. Why I tied Krishna to the ground and water? All day Nanda Baba stayed there with Krishna and Balaram. Nanda Baba has a vest with many pockets. Ladus, sweets, when they were thirsty, he would squirt milk directly from out of the cow. And for one squirt here, one squirt here, one squirt here, and then one in the mouth. All day he stayed there. Evening he was still not returned. And when he finally returned to Gokul, he would not go inside the house. Inside section is for ladies, outside section is for men. He would not go in the inner quarters. Yasoda was only inside weeping. No one had cooked anything because Krishna was not there. Who will they cook for? Then Rohini came. First with Balaram. With Balaram, you bring your brother to see Mother Yasoda. When Balaram went to grab Krishna to bring him inside, what did Krishna do? Pushed Balaram flat. Balaram surprised. So strong Krishna is today. Krishna said, I will not go. Then Rohini mother Rohini, oh Krishna, come. You will not go and see your mother. No. Then who will feed you? Baba will feed you. Who will give you milk? Cows will give milk. Who you play with? I will play with Balaram. You will not go and see your mother. I will not go and see my mother. And Rohini said, but Krishna, what will happen if your mother? Let her go. Please. She's died. She will die. What will you do then, Krishna? And Krishna began weeping. Oh, mother, 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 and running with open arms. And Mother Yasoda also weeping, she embraced Krishna. So all became drowned in Karuna Ras, feelings of compassion, sympathy for Krishna and Yasoda. Therefore Krishna was weeping, Yasoda was weeping, Nanda Baba weeping, Balaram weeping, all Braja Gopis weeping, all the cool weeping. As Guru Maharaj one time said, he told this pastime, he read this book in Jiva Goswami's Gopal Chandra, and he said, Gurudev, listen to this. And he spoke this pastime, his Gurudev began weeping because of symptoms of ecstasy. So Gopal, Jiva Goswami, Prabhu, so it was the pastime. And Nanda Baba said, Krishna, will I beat your mother? No, don't. Just touching her. And somehow Rohini cooked something and all took prasad. So many pastimes in Gokul. Then all Brijavasis meeting together. What is this? We don't know. What is wrong with this Gokul? So many demons are coming one after the other. What should we do? Then I think it was Upananda suggested for them to go to Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a very nice place, very sacred. There's so much grass for the cows and fresh water for them. We should leave Gokul. Therefore, Braj means to move. If the Brajavasi are always moving one place to another. Therefore, they have their chariot, their bullock carts. Coward men walking. Some coward men, like soldiers, with bow and arrows on the side to guard. And Brajagopis sitting in the carts, loaded with all their household paraphernalia. And thousands of cows moving like a white flock. Krishna is very small and he is asking, Mother, who's that with the beard? What is that? Banyan tree. Who's that man with the beard? Banyan tree. And who is that very tall fellow? Oh, that's palm tree. Krishna is learning. Mysore is instructing him. Many questions he is asking in the way. So, very astonishing, Krishna's birth comes to 4 Vedas. But Krishna is asking his mother, what is this? What is that? So they stop, came to Chatika, they stayed there for some time on the way to Govardhan. Then they left there and came eventually to Nandagaon. So Krishna's what is Vrindavan, the sweetness of Vrindavan? What do you want to say? Very nice kirtan. Without the mercy of Radharani, who can go to Vrindavan? So for Brajavasi singing this kirtan, oh Radhe, when you give me mercy, then I can come to Braj. Cannot do it. Radharani's birth and moksha. So, by the mercy of Radharani, we can also enter Vrindavan. By the mercy of Radharani, we will also get the son of the perfected Brajavasis, means the devotees of Gaura.
ऐसे कृपा करो श्री राधे दियो वृंदावन को वास।
ऐसे कृपा करो श्री राधे दियो वृंदावन को वास। ऐसे कृपा करो श्री राधे दियो वृंदावन को वास।
Hey! Sabadan! Inupananda said, here, hey, don't make them too wild. Huh? There's some garlic in it. Upananda said, we don't know why it is so cool, there are so many obstacles. We cannot return to Nandagaon because there is a demon Aristasura still living there. So chalo Vrindavan. So Brijavasi is always moving, therefore Braj means to move. Brijavasi is never fixed in one place. He was moving here and there. So we'll hear. One day the coward boy said, Krishna, we are very hungry. One demon is there attacking our stomach. If you could kill him by feeding us the towel food. So they went to Taliban. There was one demon. Take Kaila, hey. Hey, you two boys, hey. Jagai Mada. Don't disturb. Be quiet. There's a nice big freezer in the back. So Krishna and the coward boys all went to Taliban. There was one demon. His name was Denukasur. He'd taken the form of a donkey, ass. Ass is a very wonderful creature. Personification of foolishness. Ass carries many, many things upon his back, but he never gets to enjoy them himself. Also that Ass was thinking, this Taliban belongs to Kamsa. It is for his enjoyment. Denaku was so powerful even Indra could not defeat him. That much he was strong. So Krishna and Balaram, smelling the fruits, they went there. Balaram began shaking the trees. And many fruits fell. Top, 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 top. When Denakusa heard the sound, he became very angry. He attacked Balaram. And Balaram killed him by centrifuging him to death. Spun him around so fast he lost his life and threw him in the trees. So Balaram kills ignorance. Means Guru Tattva. That is not the job of Krishna. It is the job of Balaram. And Balaram's function as well, that is Guru Tattva. So after killing Janakasura, the boys went to take water from the bank of the Yamuna. But that portion of the Yamuna had been poisoned by the presence of Kaliya. Therefore, Kaliya Daman Sri Krishna ki. The queens, the wives of Kaliya asked, Kasanu Baba Sunadina Vidnahi Twadami Renu Chadana Swasataka. We don't know what austerities Kaliya performed in the previous life. Why Bhajantiya? Dalana Tapat Acharat Tira. She, the goddess of fortune, performed austerities for a long time. She could not get the foot dust of Krishna. But this Kali who got the foot dust of Krishna, what he did in his last life, Puranas described he was a king. And there was a drought in his country. He asked the Brahmanas what I should do to free my country from drought. Oh, this must be the fault of the king. They said, the sins of the king is causing drought. So therefore, if you drink food-bathing water or pure devotee, then you can be free from sins and the country will be free from drought. So there was one sadhu who was living in the hole of a tree. King went there with many guards, priests, Brahmins, carrying a crystal jug, a golden, what you call pitcher. Oh, sadhu, please be kind, we want to serve you. The sadhu stuck his feet outside of the hole, but that sadhu had leprosy. What could the king do? He'd already committed himself. Therefore he washed the feet of the sadhu. You can imagine little bits and pieces, passing blood, scabs, also came in the water. So that water you must drink. Even Krishna would drink that water and display the feet of pure devotees and throw it on his head. Ready? Bring one glass for Malani. That water was full of scabs and pus of blood because the devotee had leprosy. The king, he could not drink it. He could not bring himself to drink it. So the king, he took it and threw it on his head. You can take a bath. And the sadhu became angry. Oh, you are seeing me with material vision. Triste svabhav janateva pachasya dosena prakritatmiheva pijanasya kritva gangambu sanda pena panke brahma brahavagattamiti gachata nirabhava. Like the Ganga is contaminated. Oh, sorry. The Ganga appears contaminated with foam, mud, pollution, bubbles. The Ganga is pure, it can never be actually contaminated by anything. It does not affect, these things do not affect the transcendental nature of the Ganga. Therefore, in sadhu you may see some fault. What fault? Lazy, angry, using bad language, not educated. You may see these faults that cannot affect his transcendental nature. If we can see devotees like that, we'll always be saved from Vaishnava. Some fault is there because this is a material world. How you can expect no fault? That fault cannot affect them. They are transcendental. You cannot see how they are serving Radha Krishna 24 hours a day. You cannot see. Maybe they use harsh language. Maybe they neglect us. Maybe anything. But don't think anything. Don't think that they are material. And for that lesson is there. Kali blew it. The sadhu became angry. You are disrespecting. Sadhu, therefore, I curse you. You appear very nice and shiny, but inside you are full of poison. I curse you, become a snake. Snake is very nice, soft, cool. If a Vishnu always sleeps on them, they have good qualities. But inside they have misconception, poison, envy. Then the king began weeping. Please be kind. Being a snake is not good. Okay, see, quickly. Then he said, at least you put that water on your head, so I bless you, the Supreme Lord will dance on your head. That is how Kali appeared. So nature of snake is very, very envious. In India, when you kill a snake, you have to burn them. Why? Because they take Polaroids. The picture of who killed them is in their eyes. When other snakes come and look in the eyes, oh, very pretty. For generation after generation, they never forget. Like Takshak, how envious. We'll speak at the end of the Bhagavat. Why Takshak was so envious of Krishna? What is that history? So Kali, nature's snake, always angry, always envious. So Kali began. He had a great enmity with Garuda. That history is there also in the Puranas. There was, what's his name? There were two co-wives of one, I can't even remember. Kayadu and the mother of Kali. Her name was? That's the mother of Garuda. Anyway, long history. Two co-wives and one husband. Nature, women always fighting. Who's in the ladies' ashram, right? Debbie, is it true? She laughs. That means 100%. Prabhupada used to say, 1,000 massages together, no problem, but full breasts, World War III. Nature of some ladies, not Vaishnavis. Ladies' nature is to fight. 1,000 massages together, no problem. But full breasts means World War II. Two ladies cannot stay together without fighting. That is the nature. Buddha told one story. This is one. One time Krishna and Arjuna were going, and Arjuna said, Krishna said to Arjuna, I'm very thirsty, can you get me some water? Arjuna took the water to the Kalindi, took some water, and then he came back. Arjuna was white as a sheet. Krishna said, what happened? Arjuna said, I just saw a most amazing thing. The rarest thing. What is that? I saw two women together who were not fighting. Then Krishna said, that's impossible. Then Krishna said, I also want to see. So he went, and what was it? It was one woman and her shadow. But even she was doing that to her shadow. Her face was turned away. This is nature. So, these two ladies were fighting, therefore they had an argument. Every day the sun god carries the sun across the face of this, across the sky. So they're arguing the horse, the tail of the horse that carries the chariot of the sun god, is that tail black or white? And one woman, the mother of Garuda, said it's white, and the mother of the snake said it's black. But actually the tail was white. So what happened? The mother of the snake, she sent many of her sons, little thin black snakes, to cover the tail of the horse that was carrying the chariot of the sun. So morning they came, the tail was black. Therefore Garuda's mother became a slave of the wife of the snakes. So the mother of the snakes. I cannot remember her name when I was a kid. Kayadu, everyone knows Kayadu. Anyway, go ahead. Vinata, thank you. I think one of us had a brain. Vinata was the mother of Kali. That's why even today, snake and eagle are always fighting, snakes and birds. Mexican flag, who's on the bottom there? Snakes. Even today that enmity is there. So for that reason, Garuda and Kali had a great enmity. In order to free his mother from the slavery, Garuda went and stole nectar from the demigods. So when Garuda was fighting the demigods, he was resting that pitcher of nectar in 4 places. Prayag, Haridwar, Ujjain, and Braj. And where did he rest that pot? On one kadama tree. So just remember that history. That is why that kadama tree did not die, despite all the death of all the other vegetation. So, Kali and Garuda had a great enmity. Therefore, Garuda used to move everywhere, eating snakes and fish. Although normally a Vaishnava should not eat non-vegetarian foodstuffs. There were many people in India that say, oh, Garuda eats fish, and why can't we? Haribol. But Garuda is a very empowered person. He eats fish. This is not for any greedy. This is to give mercy to those fish and snakes. Anyone he kills and eats is liberated. Therefore, to be killed by Garuda is a great benediction. So that always he was moving everywhere, eating random snakes and fish, and they were always terrified. They didn't know who would be next. So they made a deal with Garuda. Oh, Garuda Maharaj, every month we will offer you one big fat snake. And many other foodstuffs, therefore every month you come and you eat at one place, regulated manner. So if the offering was 12 o'clock, Kalia would come and eat everything at 11:30. So much envy. There was a big battle between Kali and Garuda. Garuda struck Kali on the head with his wing. That gave Kali enough good fortune to have darshan of the Supreme Lord, because he was punished by a devotee. So Kali fled, and where did he run? He ran to Vrindavan. And there was one pond there that was part of the Kalindi but separated from it. That was the only place Garuda could not go. Why Garuda could not go, that history is given in the 6th canto, but I left it till now. So in Satyuga there was one yogi, his name was Subali Rishi. He was thinking, where can I escape from Maya? If we're at Venice Beach, how to escape from Maya? Because Maya is everywhere. So he ran, hid in the bottom of the Yamuna. In the bottom of the Yamuna there's no girls, no nightclubs. 10,000 years he performed meditation there. So he became like the guru of the local fish. Because the fish had too much faith in him because he's one place for 10,000 years. And Gurudeva's habit, he's going and eating fish, so the fish approached him. Gurudev, please save us from Garuda. Then Subhadhi said, Garuda, if you come here and eat my disciples, I curse your head will crack to 1,000 pieces. So what happened? Because Subhadhi dared to give instruction and to chastise a pure devotee like Garuda, who is the personal carrier of Lord Narayan. What happens if we make offense to a devotee? Material desires come in the heart. If a white brahmacharis leave, or anyone leaves the temple, leaves the association of devotees, why? Because of some Vaishnava aparat. There is no other reason. We have taken shelter of Guru, we are chanting the holy name, then how? Karma can touch us, it cannot touch us. But if one commits offense, then one loses that shelter, one is dragged away. So Kali could move everywhere in the universe, but he could not go to that one place because of the curse of Subhadhi. So Subhadhi Rishi, because he cursed Garuda, material desires developed in his heart. One day when he was meditating, 2 fish went past and touched his nose. One man fish and lady fish that had just been married. They were enjoying. So when he opened his eyes and saw the fish enjoying, he said, everyone's having fun except for me. I also want to marry. Where that desire came? In offense to Garuda. He was so much maddened, he came out of the water and went to one king. That king's name was Mandata. Mandata's appearance is also wonderful. That is in 7th canto. Mandata Rishi and Mandata Maharaj, his father had no progeny, therefore they worshipped and performed a yajna. The demigods gave him a pot of water, of nectar. Who drinks this water will become pregnant. So he thought, I'll drink it in the morning, I'll give it to my wife in an auspicious time, early in the morning. But due to force of providence, in the middle of the night he woke up, he was very thirsty. What did he do? He drank that water, he became pregnant. Huh? Really? Not explaining that to the parents. So he gave birth. Hey, don't ask me how I was. He gave birth because he had no breasts, obviously. But the child was crying, because one's milk, but there was no mother. Without being pregnant, without giving birth, mother cannot give milk. If the child was weeping, where? Then Indra came and gave his finger. Mandat, drink me. So the baby sucked the finger of Indra and got nectar. Therefore his name was Mandat Maharaj. He had 50 daughters. So when Subhadhi Rishi came out of the water, the Yamuna completely maddened by sex desire, he went to Mandata. I want to marry. Give me one of your daughters. Malini, would you agree? Imagine what he looked like after 10,000 years under the water. Mr. Perun. And no doubt, Sigmund the seaweed monster. So many barnacles, seaweed, everything growing on it. Must be. Huh? He came out of the water. Imagine some guy 10,000 years, I want to marry your daughter. So Mandat Maharaj did not say no. Because what happens when lust is checked? Anger. And being cursed by someone that powerful would not be much fun at all. So Mandat Rishi Maharaj is very intelligent. He said, oh, my daughters will choose their own husband. Means no one's going to choose you, that's for sure. So during the marriage ceremony that Subhadhi Rishi made himself so beautiful, the girls began fighting for him. Scratching each other, pulling his hair. I saw him first. No, I saw him first. I'm older than you. So finally Subhadhi Rishi said, don't worry girls, it's not a problem. He made himself into 50 Subhadhi Rishis. And how long he enjoyed material life? 10,000 years. At the same time he performed austerity. That is the danger of offense to the devotee. But Vaishnava, the effect of Vaishnava Raj is not eternal. Don't think that. He suffered for 10,000 years. That is the result. But that is not an eternal damnation. Even karma is not eternal. Therefore, aparad will cover your devotion. It will not destroy it. What's the proof? Mandala Rishi, after 10,000 years, when that offense was diminished, again, if our renunciation appeared in his heart. Otherwise, how he renounced everything after 10,000 years. So then he left and went to perform those services again. So Subhadra Rishi. Subhadra Rishi Maharaj. Anyhow, he's in the Bhagavat, must be a great stuff. So that is where Kaliya took shelter from Garuda. He poisoned the whole area. And all those fish, they died. And Subhadra Rishi, he thought he would save his disciples from a high Vaishnava by trying to chastise a high Vaishnava. What happened to all those disciples anyway? Dead. If that place where a high Vaishnava is not welcome, that place becomes a pit full of snakes. And sometimes we see temples do not respect Vaishnavas, do not welcome. What happens to those temples? Become full of poison, like Kali. How much in So, that whole of Vrindavan had been poisoned by the influence of Kaliya. So when the cow boys, after killing Denaka, so they were to take all the cows and boys fell unconscious as if dead. Then Krishna came and by his glance he gave them life again. And Krishna thought, this is too much. I will take care of Kaliya myself. If he climbed up that Kadamba tree is still there. Okay, see when you come to Vrindavan, you'll see it there. Still. That tree had not died because Garuda had kept his nectar. All these stories all match Puranic history. How one leads to another, that is great happiness also from reading. So Krishna climbed on the top of the Kadamba, stuck his food in his waistband, tightened his pitamba around his waist, tied back his hair. Otherwise, when fighting in the water, that hair would cover him. He tied back his hair. And Krishna jumped. So even in the swimming pool, when someone does a bomb, what a way. Imagine the Supreme Lord. If such a noise that so many waves came 100 bow lengths, the moon went up and came down. And Krishna, he knows all types of arts. One of them is playing music on top of water. So Krishna like, yes. Bhagavatam, okay, don't believe me? Okay. So, hope it's there. So, thus, Krishna began sporting in Kaliya's lake like a lord, the elephant, swirling his mighty arms and making the water resound in various ways. When Kaliya heard that sound, he could understand that someone was trespassing in his lake. Here, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur. Krishna played in the water by swimming and producing wonderful musical sounds simply by splashing the water with his hands and arms. So when Kaliya heard the music, he was not happy. Nature of snake cannot tolerate anyone else. And he came out to see Krishna. And what did he see? How is Krishna looking? Tam prekshaniya sukumaraya ganavadapam Shivasa pita vasanam sita sundarasam Kridatam patibayam kalamano dadangrim Sandasya mama surusu bujaya chakaya. How attractive he looked. His complexion was ganavadapam, like the complexion of a dark rain cloud. Especially after summer. If you've been in, who's been in India in summer? Like hell. So hot. It's summer. I remember Mathura, I stayed there. Still recovering. Someone had a thermometer. And in the middle of the day, we put it out there, 50 degrees Celsius. What's that? Half the body temperature. What's that in Fahrenheit?
47 is 117.
There you go, 122 Fahrenheit. Everybody?
Rotterdam is in the world's
To be the hottest inhabited place in the earth. Go over that. It's in Guinness Book of Records. Apparently, probably one of those Prabhupada said, I don't know. So, after such a hellish summer, imagine when the monsoon when the monsoon clouds come, how they look. Full of nectar. Krishna's body looked like that. Taprekshaniya Sukumara Ganavada Datsam and Sita Sundarasam. He was very nicely smiling with Pitamba around him. Kridantam Pratibhayam. He was fearlessly playing in the water. Kamalodarangarim, and his eyes were like a locust. But could Kamala see that beauty? Could not see it. He could not taste it because deep. Instead, he beat Krishna on the chest and tried to kill him. So Krishna, he pretended to be unconscious. And Kali gripped him in his claws and squeezed him. Meanwhile, Balaram was not there that day. Because that was his birthday or something. Some religious ceremony. Otherwise this passing could not have taken place. Yogamaya arranged, Balaram was not there. The Brajavasis saw many auspicious signs. Cows crying, deities weeping, donkeys braying, cartels dropping on the floor. Many auspicious signs. The Brajavasis became full of fear. Then one old man came, Krishna has been captured by Kaliya. All became mad, all ran there. Even laying blind, everyone. When they saw Krishna bound by Kaliya, some of the Brajavasis went to enter the water. Especially Yasoda. Oh Kaliya, Krishna is very small, very weak and bony. There's no meat. But look at me. If you give up Krishna, you can eat us, but let him go. Free him. And for the Brajavasis, some wanted to enter the water to offer themselves to Kaliya. But that water was poisoned, therefore Balaram, the original Guru, he held everyone back by his hands. At first, Balaram also weeping. My brother captured like that. But then he could understand what pastime this was. And Balaram smiled. Why? Oh Krishna, what good fortune is Kali. I am in the form of Ananda Shesh. You never play with me like you're playing with him. Kali is very lucky. One incarnation, snake incarnation, Vishnu was sleeping on him but not doing anything like this, wrestling or playing, or just stupid dance. Thus, the Supreme Lord Balaram, the master of all knowledge, smiled and said, Krishna was remained in the grass of Kali for 1 hour, 46 minutes. You can imagine, a long time. Then Balaram said, Oh Krishna, enough of this pastime. You are giving so much suffering to the devotees. All the cows were crying out, Krishna, Krishna. They stood still with tears running from their eyes. And what to speak of the Brajavasis? What to speak of the gopis? The gopis simply fell unconscious and remembered the pastimes of Krishna. When someone has too much pain, God has arranged someone falls unconscious. The elderly gopis were weeping in sorrow. And the other gopis also held back Mother Yasoda. Oh Yasoda, don't die. If you die, how Krishna would be sad. But somehow they maintained Mother Yasoda. Krishna remained for some time within the coils of the snake, imitating the behavior of a normal human being. But when he understood the suffering of the women, the cows, the gopis, his friends, were in acute distress because of love for him, Krishna expanded himself and broke free from the coils. It could be that time the gopis were thinking, maybe if anyone is lucky in this world, it's Kali. Why? We cannot embrace Krishna in public. The time gopis had not met Krishna directly, they experienced Purvara. They've been detached before meeting. We want to embrace Krishna, but we cannot. And how much do you embrace someone? How much can you embrace? 5% of it. But Kali is embracing from his lotus feet to the top of his head. If anyone in his life is fortunate, it's Kali. When Kali had hundreds of heads, those heads kissed, biting Krishna means kiss. The gopis thinking, we cannot kiss Krishna. This Kali is kissing. And Duyani Kori Vikama. How can anyone see Krishna with two eyes? One wonder. Cannot. Such is his beauty. And how many eyes does Kali have? Hundreds and hundreds. And eyes have no eyelids. Snake has no eyelids. So no blinking to disturb darshan. If a gopis thinking, really, anyone is lucky in this world, that is Kali and no one else. So gopis are wishing well for Kali. That is some also reason why Krishna gave him mercy. And Krishna was thinking, this pastime is enough. Now it's time to show my prowess. Because all gopis too much absorbed in watching. Then Krishna may be thinking, I will show the gopis how I dance. And then I give the gopis some desire. Soon will be Ras Leela also. Because to dance on a still platform that is difficult, but to dance on the head of a moving snake, how difficult. Therefore Krishna expanded himself. Kali, he could not hold him. Then Krishna began circling him. And Kali was circling until he became dizzy. Krishna reached out, grabbed his head, pulled him down, stood on the head of Kali when Kali went up, and Krishna was on his head. And can you remember? Tanda Pratimandana Puranachita Kirihadi Pam 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 Paga Patakara Pam 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 Panakari Bim 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 Kari Naga Hudhara Vividyadara Dam 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 Deva Sakala Gana 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 Davakata Nachapate Kari Sadhusana Karike Nana 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 Munike Mama Mama Mahadeva Bom Bom Marihari Surdas Pukavani King King Ne Kinadani Dan 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 Chatana Patakami Boy Hari Tanda Pratimandana Paranachita Giridhari. One blind man, Surdas. Tanda Pratimandana Paranachita Giridhari. Lord Shiva destroys the creation by dance. Therefore Shiva, one name is Nataraj. But Krishna is not Nataraj, Krishna is Nataraja, the best of dances. So when Shiva dances, he destroys the universe, but when Krishna dances, he destroys the chastity of all the Brajagopas. Their chastity is like a mountain, and Krishna's dancing is like that, grounded to ash, to powder. Tanda Gatimanda Gandamashi Giridhari. Giridhari Sri Krishna, when he was dancing, all the pride of Shiva was also broken. Shiva has so much pride. I am a great dancer. But when he saw Krishna's dancing, and he filled in his resignation. So how he danced? Pam 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 pa the patakara pam 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 kari bim 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 kari na. When Krishna was dancing, want to give us a demonstration on him? Bhagavat. That's all right. Control the sense about it. Dancing. Okay, one here, Master. So in Bhagavatam they make the rhythm by their feet. Before Krishna was making rhythm. Hey, Karan! What's his name? Hello. Hello. Be good or you'll have to answer Uncle Damodar. So Krishna began dancing with his feet. And what rhythm was he made? Pam pam pa pat 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 pa the patakara. So Krishna was doing rhythm with his feet. So when Krishna was doing that, all the demigods were watching. The demigods like the higher planets, especially the Gandharvas, Chanana, they're very expert musicians. So when Krishna was doing his dance, they were also accompanying Krishna on their mridangas, dholaks. With the rhythms Krishna was making with his feet, the demigods could not follow, they could not understand. Then they just threw their bows, Haribol. Also, one thing is that if a skin is stretched over a hood, it makes a nice sound. So when Krishna was dancing in the head of Kali, it was like a drum beat. Pam 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 pa da pam pa pa. Pam means head of a snake. Krishna was not only dancing on the snake's head, which was moving side to side, but Krishna was going from one head to another head so fast. Each time Kali would go to bite, Krishna would stomp on his head. Krishna's stomping on you was no mean thing. Each time he would stomp, they would make a rhythm. So when all the demigods were watching Krishna's rhythm, they also know the Vedic scriptures give the rules and regulations of music. Like Sangeet Ved. Also, Nitya Shastra, that the scriptures which describes dancing. But the Vedic scriptures describe that, and the demigods studied that, they became expert in music and dance. But Krishna's dancing, Krishna's music, no instruments, only his ankle bells and his feet. They could not follow because Krishna is outside Vedic. His music, his dancing is outside the Vedic scriptures. Pam 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 pada kata bim 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 karina. And the wives of Kali were surrounding and watching their dance and chanting. At the time, gopis were also watching, and Krishna was glancing to them, and that desire came in mind that Krishna dances so nicely. Imagine if we could dance with him. And for Kali, a little merciful on Kali, also for that reason, he arranged this first darshan of the gopis and Krishna in a public place. And Krishna showing his expertise also, so Krishna happy with Kali for that reason. Then, Gan Tandam pam 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 pada kata pam 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 kata bim 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 kata naga vala hari vividya dara dam 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 deva sakara gan 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 gandar kata naga kata pam. All the demigods, when they saw Krishna's dancing, they became amazed. They threw away their instruments and said, Nacha Kali, Kali means clapping their hands. That time, who is watching that dancing? Shiva, Chatushna, the four Kumaras, and Narad, they were watching the dancing also. And they were also Haribol, Haribol. Every time Kali would lift his head, Krishna would thump him with his feet, thus leaving the footprints on the head of Kali. What is that? Visa stamp. Go to Golokunda. Do not go. Therefore, he had no more fear of Kali, because when Kali would see the footprints of his Lord, then Kali and Guru would not eat him. Therefore, by this dancing, he took away all the fear from the heart of Kali. Kali had 100 here, it says. Seeing the Lord dancing, his servants in the heavenly planets, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Charyas, and the wives of the demigods immediately arrived there. With great pleasure, they began accompanying the Lord dancing by playing drums such as mridangas, panavas, and anakas. They also made offerings of songs, flowers, and prayers. Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Krishna danced even without musical accompaniment by personally calling out syllables such as tai, tai, ta, ta, to imitate the sound of a musical instrument. The impression given is that Sri Krishna, upon seeing the gopis, was considering, we will meet together to dance like this sometime in the future. Kali had 101 prominent heads. Each time one head would come up to strike Krishna, Krishna would strike it with his heel of his feet. Thus, Krishna, who inflicts punishment on the wrongdoers, would smash that stubborn head by striking it very hardly. Then Kali began vomiting and began weeping. Thus all his poison left his body. Exuding poisonous waste from his eyes, Kali would sometimes dare to raise up his head. That time Krishna would thump him. Thus the Lord would dance on it and subdue it by forcing it to bow down with his foot. Thus, my dear king, Shri Krishna's wonderful, powerful dancing trampled and broke all of Kali's 1,000 hoods. Then the serpent, profusely vomiting blood from his mouth and weeping poison from his eyes, finally recognized Shri Krishna to be the eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why Kali did not recognize at the beginning? Why? Full of poison. Poison means misconception, material desire. Why? We are not really serving to Guru and Krishna. Why? Our poisonous is worse than Kali. At least Kali has an excuse. We are human beings. We have no excuse. Thus, Kali was about to give up his life, and finally it dawned, oh, what my wife said about Krishna, that is the truth. He is not any coward boy, really. He is the cause of all causes. Thus, by some symptoms in his eyes and bodily expressions, the queen, the Kali's wives could understand now Kali is submitting to the Lord. He is surrendering. At first the wives were thinking very good that Kali dies. Nonsense guy. But then she thought, but then when he became, they saw now he's become a devotee. And they prayed to Krishna on his behalf. So no matter what we were before we became devotees, we should understand when we come to Guru and Krishna, we should give up that past. And actually it's one offense to remind a devotee of their past. That is one aparad. So don't do that. Because sometimes non-devotees criticize Vaishnava. Oh, before, this, that. They cannot accept that the Vaishnava has given a superior position. The example is, when our mothers were small, they used to run around with no clothes. But that means now our mothers should run around with no clothes. Before we were ignorant, many things we did, but when knowledge comes, then those activities will stop. So now the wives had a change of heart. They thought, actually now our husband is Vaishnava, that he can help us in bhajan and protect us. So the wives of Kali began offering prayers. When Kali's wives saw how the serpent had become so fatigued from the excess weight of Krishna, who carries millions of universes within his stomach, and they saw how Kali's umbrella-like hoods had been shattered by the striking of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Thus they approached Krishna with their ornaments and hair in disarray. Thus they prayed to Krishna. Naga, Patna, Vacha, their prayers are very wonderful. How much they offer respect and namaha to Krishna. They prayed. Tapas taptam kimanena purvam nirastamanena chamanadena dharmo atava sava jananukampaya yato bhavam stusate sarva jivaha. Did our husband perform greater service in the previous life? In a previous life, was he devoid of pride and full of respect for others? Is that why you are pleased with him? Or maybe in a previous life, he executed religious duties very carefully. Is that why you are pleased with him? Maybe in a previous life, he was kind and a well-wisher of all living entities. Is that why you are pleased with him? Or is it simply your causelessness? What you have done to Kali is actually your mercy. Since your punishment and blessing is the same thing. Our husband is a conditioned soul, and he is so sinful he has assumed the body of a slave. Therefore, your mercy towards him is simply, what is the cause of your mercy towards him? The cause of your mercy towards him is simply your mercy, there is no other cause. Kasanu bhavo ashanadeva vidmehi vadangrirenu chanaspastikaraha vanchanti yatsi lananachira tapo vihaya kramansi chiram dhitabrataha. We don't know what austerities our husband performed in the previous life to achieve the feet dust of your lotus feet upon his head. That foot dust was not even achieved by Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Those who achieve Nanaka Prashtam Nachasava Boma and Paramestam Nachasari Patyam Nayoga Siddhim Apunaduvamsa Vanchanti Yad Padaraja Prapanna. Almost same prayers as Vita. O Krishna, those who achieve the dust of your lotus feet never desire anything. They are not interested in achieving the position of Lord Brahma, achieving the earth planet, achieving liberation, achieving the lower planetary systems, or achieving all yogic perfections. Those who achieve the dust of your lotus feet achieve everything, but they do not desire anything else. Therefore, O Lord, because of his absorption in mode of Rajagun, he has achieved the body of a snake. But all living entities are moving under the spell of the three modes of material nature. Embodied souls who are full of millions of desires can have all benedictions bestowed upon them simply by touching the dust of your lotus feet. What is the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna really? What is that? Vaishnava is always there. Sukhi Dubi Dasaya Chinti and Mahaprabhu. Those persons who never give up the service of the feet of Krishna for a second, they are the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna. Namastu Bam Bhagavate Purushaya Mahatmane Bhutavasaya Bhutaya Paraya Paramatmane Jnana Vijnana Nidaya Brahmane Ananta Saktaye Agunaya Vikaraya Namastu Prakataya Cha Kula Kalanabhaya Kalayabhaya Sakshine Vishayatadu Padraste Tatkate Vishahintava. We offer our obeisances to you, the Supreme Person, again. And how much time I say Namaste, that's what I do. Again and again, Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. We bow to you, the Supreme Lord, Purushaya Mahatmane, the Supreme Soul, Bhuta Vasya Bhutaya. You are the soul of all souls, the core of all living entities. Paraya Paramatmane. You are the super soul itself. You are beyond knowledge and realization. Jnana Vijnana Nidaya. Although completely free from any touch of material nature, you come to this world. Therefore we bow to you again and again. So many prayers we offer. Therefore please be merciful to our husband. The master should tolerate the offences of the servant. Even though the son does many bad things, Allah always forgives. In the same way, Supreme Soul, Kali is not separate from you. He is your son, therefore please give him your full mercy. Please be merciful to this snake. It is proper for a saintly person like you, Sri Krishna, to feel compassion for a woman. This snake is about to give up his life. Please give us our husband who is our very life and soul. Anyone, please tell us how we can serve you, Krishna. Anyone who serves you becomes free from all fear. Thus, Jaya Vijay Bhakti, Jaya Naga Bhakti Ga, Bhakti Te Jahara Pailo Govinda Chara. Who is the example of those who achieved the feet of Krishna, that is, the wives of the Brahmanas and the wives of Kali. If Krishna was very pleased by the prayers of the wives, then Kali offered his own prayers. And his prayer is very, very tricky. Very wonderful. 3 places we see the Lord is defeated by prayer. Could not answer. One is Kaliya, one is Bali, and one is Vali. I did not mention the other day. But Bali in his prayers, he defeated the Lord. The Lord could not answer him. Because he said, when you ask for 3 steps of land, your feet were that big. But when you took the 3 steps of land, your feet were huge. Why is that? Lord could not answer. Capture. Also Bali, when Bali gave his thing, why you killed me without reason? Also could not answer so nicely. In Kaliya's prayer, also like that standard. What did Kaliya say? Oh Lord, you have created all the millions of species of life, and with each species of life you have given a certain nature. No one can act against their nature. If I have been given the body of a snake, how can I give up my nature? In other words, whose fault is it? You have created all species of life. All species of life have a nature. I'm a snake, this is my nature. And Kali prayer also a good prayer. I really feel your pleasure. Oh Krishna, amongst all species of life within your creation, we serpents are naturally always angry. Being thus deluded by your illusion energy, which is very difficult to give up, how can we possibly give up our own acquired nature? So Kaliya offered prayers. Actually, Kaliya prayed for another species of life. Because snake cannot change what it isn't. So, after hearing Kaliya's words, Krishna, who is acting the role of a human being, replied, "Oh snake, you may not stay here any longer. Why is that weird, Harry? Can you think? Try and sit down here. Why? Because Kali is by nature poisonous. Therefore, Kali had already caused so much disturbance in the pastimes of Braj. Therefore, Krishna said, go. Where did he send him? No, where? Fiji. Ramanadweep. True. This is a little bit off the topic, but these are true stories. Prabhupada said Kali came to Fiji. Now, when I went to Fiji, the Punjas told me a story. That one documentary team from the BBC wanted to come to Kali because they had heard of this history. And in Fiji, previously, people would worship snakes, serpent creatures. So when the BBC applied for a visa to come and film, the president of Fiji had a dream. And one big snake came and said, don't let them come. No? So the president of Fiji cancelled their journalism visa. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, so they know all these things. So, Krishna said, go from Vrindavan. Take your wife and kids with you. If a mortal being remembers my command to you to leave Vrindavan and go to the ocean, and speaks this at sunrise and sunset, he'll never be afraid of snakes. Out of fear of Garuda, you left Fiji and came here. But do not be afraid of Garuda anymore. When he sees my footprints on your head, he'll give you so much affection. Thus Kali joined again with his wives, and they worshipped Krishna and gave him many presentations. What presentation they gave him? Costume of jewel. What did you think it was?
I didn't know
You think it's some donation. If a question comes here, the costume of jewel is eternally part of Krishna's own suit. It's never separate from him. How Kali could give the costume of jewel to Krishna? Why? Because Krishna is performing human-like pastimes. So if you gave birth to a baby who had a huge jewel around his neck, that would be not a good way to start human-like pastimes. So Krishna arranged the jewel, which is never separate from him, to somehow come in the possession of Kaliya, and Kaliya will give that jewel to Krishna in a later stage. So here, Rupa Goswami describes, the Lord made his costume of jewel enter the serpent's lake, and then the Lord arranged for it to be presented to himself by the hands of Kaliya's wives. So, Jai Jai Sri Ram.
पार करेंगे नैया रे भज कृष्ण कन्हैया पार करेंगे नैया रे भज कृष्ण कन्हैया पार करेंगे नैया रे भज कृष्ण कन्हैया
Now it's a little hard. Govardhan. Very nice. Govardhan is like the tilak on Vrindavan. Just like a person without tilak. You would hurry? That forehead is like a cremation ground. Very bad luck just to see their face. So Giriraj is like the tilak. Raj tilak on Vrindavan. Govardhan fulfills any desire. Therefore, Nijanika Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatam. Great devotees, especially Raghunath Goswami, has prayed, I always want to live near Govardhan. Pramoda Vandana Lila, Kandare Kandare Te, Dachyate Navayuna Dandasni Nami Namoda. Itikilikilanata Lagnakas Tatvayame. Nijanika Nivasam A wish fulfilling stone can fulfill any desire, but can only give material things. But Govardhan is a spiritual wish fulfilling mountain. Whatever you desire from him, he will give you. He's not just a mountain, he's Krishna himself. So we can hear very wonderful pastimes of Govardhan. How Govardhan came to Vrindavan. 2 stories of that. Palasta Rishi, he was the great-grandfather of Rama, very powerful Brahmin. He was living in Varanasi. But Varanasi, there was no hills, mountains. It was very flat. Palasta Rishi was thinking, if I could bring one mountain from the Himalayas, then my Varanasi would be beautified. So he went to the king of the Himalayas, that is Himansha, and asked, please donate to me one of your sons, one mountain. And Giriraj said, I will go. But you can take me on one condition. If you put me down, I will not move from that place. Palasta Rishi agreed. He took Govardhan by flying through the air. But when he crossed this Mathura Mandal Brajabhumi, and Govardhan could understand this is my eternal place. So, let's talk at the feast of Govardhan, making me hungry. So Yogamaya attacked the bladder of Palasta Rishi. Govardhan himself attacked the bladder. The bladder became full. I have to pass. Palasta Rishi forgot about his promise. He put Govardhan down and went to pass water. After taking bath and doing Gayathri, when he went to pick up Govardhan, he could not pick it up. Again and again he said to Govardhan, you come on my hand, we are going to Varanasi. And Govardhan thinking, Varanasi is also like hell. There is no Krishna Katha there. Om Namah Shivaya, Ham Brahmasmi Sava. Hold no devotion to Krishna. I will stay here in Brajabhumi. And Palasta Rishi became angry. If you do not come, I will curse you. And Giriraj said, you will do whatever you want, but your curse cannot be worse than taking me out of Vrindavan. If the Guru Maharaj would give deities, he would never give Shalak Govardhan Shivas. Because Govardhan never likes to be grudge. So, Giriraj would not go. He has so much nishta for Vrindavan, so much love. Palasta Rishi cursed him. I curse you will sink the size of one mustard seed every day. So the time of Krishna Lila 5,000 years ago, Govardhan was how many miles high? 8 miles high, 12 miles long, 4 miles thick. And now how high is Govardhan? Very small because of the curse of Palasta Rishi. But really, this curse is an external factor. Giriraj is feeling so much separation. He's sinking into the ground. Also, Govardhan is afraid of the sinful living entities of Kali Yuga. For that reason, he is disappearing gradually. So Govardhan, exclusive devotee of the Lord, and Krishna always wants to glorify his devotees. That is the nature of the Lord. Krishna says, Man Bhakta Puja Adakam. The worship of my devotees is more than the worship of me. Therefore, Krishna himself establishes the devotee. That is Krishna's happiness. So one day morning, Krishna saw all the Brijavasis very busily cooking. So many types of samosa, malpua, pras, dal, sabji, halwa. And Krishna was very hungry. He went to grab something to eat. Mother sort of slapped his hand. No! Don't touch anything. And Krishna was a little surprised. What's going on, Mother? Why is there a big feast today? Is it someone's birthday? And he was a little hopeful. Is it my birthday? Mother said, "I'm so busy, get out of here." And Krishna went outside the kitchen. No one would answer his question. And he went to Nanda Baba. "Oh Baba, what's happening? What's this festival?" And Nanda Baba said, "Today is the day of Indra Puja. Indra is the god of rain. Because we are a cowherd community, we rely on the rain. It rains, rain produces grass, And cows live off grass, and we live off cows, with milk products, etc. We owe everything to Indra, the god of rain. The one who only takes of the demigods but does not give back, that is a low-class person. Therefore, not only we worship him, but many, many people worship Indra. Indra is the control of the rain, and the clouds are his representatives. And the clouds give happiness and maintain order. We offer him grain and other foodstuffs. And then he is pleased with our sacrifice, he gives us rainfall. By accepting the remnants of sacrifice performed to Indra, people sustain their lives. And by sustaining the human form of life, one can achieve all desires. Thus, when Lord Keshav, Krishna, heard the instructions of Nanda Baba, he became very sad, inside. Why? These Brijavasis are my exclusive devotees. Why they will give up my seva and worship anyone else? Or to speak of the insignificant demigods. Rishikesh Govinda Seva, na Pujai, Devigala. This is one symptom of Vaishnava, they never worship anyone else. No demigods, no demigoddesses. Who do we worship? Only Krishna. It is a symptom of devotee. In fact, Sri Ramanujacharya said, better to be boiled in oil and cut into pieces than chant the names of the demigods. Therefore, on Shivaratri we chant Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, no. What we do on Shivaratri, we know Shiva loves the name of Krishna. Krishna is his life and soul. On Shivaratri we never Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. What do? We chant Krishna Kirtan, Radha Kirtan. Krishna is very happy. Shiva is very happy by that. One time Kishore Sudevi were telling me that because they are doing kirtanias, they go in many places. But they said, Gurudev, sometimes we do kirtan with like all types of persons. And they're singing prayers of demigods, Om Namah Shivaya, Ganesh Bhajan, Shiva Bhajan, this Bhajan, that Bhajan. What should we do? Kumash, at that time you put your kartals down. You don't sing. And then they will ask you why you are not singing, that you can explain to them. But don't sing, don't work, don't do this bhajan. So, Krishna is sad. My Brijavasis are worshipping someone else, thinking of someone else. Actually, they're worshipping just for Krishna's benefit, but Krishna did not even like that. So Krishna gave arguments. And Krishna is speaking loud enough so you can hear also. And what he said, Father, is this like Indra Puja, is just like a speculation you made up? Or what is it? Is it? No, this is our parampara. So Krishna said, listen, Father. Due to the results of one's previous activities, one takes birth. And according to his previous activities, he achieves happiness or distress. What does Indra have to do with that? And even if there is some supreme controller, he will also only be able to give the results of one's karma anyway. Lord said the demigods, if you worship them, the results they give only are like a shadow of your karma anyway. They cannot cross karma. If you're going to win Powerball, you can win Powerball. But with this argument by Krishna, what is this? There is no supreme control. And even if because one gets the results of one's activities, and even if there was, he would only give you what you deserve anyway. Is this true? This is atheistic philosophy. Krishna is not speaking the truth. This is pure atheism. Why Krishna is speaking atheism? Sometimes in emergency you have to use them. How do you cut karma? You can only cut karma by karma. Therefore, Bhagavat is very bewildering scripture unless you hear under the guidance of devotees. Bhagavat is Mohini Swarup also. Like Mohini took the form of Shiva the demons. Non-devotees also, when they read separate from the guidance of devotees, they become Shiva. Krishna himself said, look, like Ajamil, Kata, Sukadeva Goswami said, by performing karma you become free from sin. It's not true. Oh look, it says there, do karma, or do jnana, or do yoga. But this is Krishna's Mohini Swarup cheating non-devotees. Therefore, Krishna gave some false arguments. Even if there was a guy called Indra, we've never seen him anyway. But even if there wasn't a guy called Indra, he could only give you rain if that was your karma. There are so many people who never worship Indra, but they get rain. Does the ocean worship Indra? No. But it rains on the ocean. Therefore, Indra can... Indra can... Therefore, Indra cannot in any way change the destiny of human beings, which is born of their own nature. Why should anyone worship him? Every individual is under the control of his own nature, and thus you must follow that nature. The entire universe, including the demigods, and including Indra, demons and human beings, all are forced to follow their acquired nature. Because it is karma that causes the living entity to accept and give up high and low grade bodies, this karma is his enemy, karma is his friend, and karma is his neutral witness, karma is his spiritual master, and karma is the supreme Lord. None of this is true. Therefore, one should simply perform karma. One should worship work itself. A person should remain in the position he's got according to his nature, and in that position he should fulfill his duty. That duty becomes like a worship-filling cow, that karma becomes like a worship-filling cow, fulfills all his desires. And it goes on and on. Therefore, the cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction is nothing else but karma. Therefore, we should not worship Indra. Listen. Impelled by the motive passion, Krishna is giving many different types of arguments. This is Sankhya philosophy. This world is propelled by the Maya. Maya is made of three modes of nature. The motive passion creates rain. Indra has nothing to do with it. Impelled by the material modes of passion, the clouds pour their rain everywhere. And this rain, and by this rain, all creatures gain their sustenance. Indra has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Therefore, my dear Father, we do not live in the cities. We live in the villages. Therefore, if we should worship someone, we should worship the Brahmanas. Where are you going? When? Oh, what do you do for work? Oh, thanks. I don't think what work begins at 8 o'clock. Anyway.
Is that also called karma and
Karma monks, exactly. Karma monks believe that even if there was a Bhagavan, he can only give the fruits of karma anyway. Krishna giving some bogus philosophies out there. So, but Krishna's voice is so sweet and so charming, all Brajavasis will believe it. Yes, whatever he said we're going to do. If Krishna says it, it must be true. Therefore, Krishna finally said, Father, we do not live in the cities. We live in the villages, and we depend on cows. Therefore, really the cows and the brahmanas we must worship them. Therefore, we should perform a sacrifice, not for the Indra, but for the cows, the brahmanas, and Govardhan. Actually, it's Govardhan who gives us rain. Isn't it? What's it called? I learned it in high school. When the clouds come up against the mountain. Clouds come up against the mountain. Not condensation. Not condensation.
Oh!
When clouds come up against the mountain, they are forced to rain. Therefore, the cause of rain is not Indra. The actual cause of rain is Govardhan. Therefore, with all the paraphernalia collected, we should worship Govardhan instead. Therefore, when all the food was about to be offered by Indra was about to reach out and take it samosa. The Brajavasis heard the word of Krishna and said, excuse me, they took it all off and offered everything to Govardhan. Thus, Krishna and all the Brajavasis, Krishna said, this is my idea, Father. And if you carry it out, if it agrees with you, such a sacrifice is very dear to the cows, the brahmanas, Govardhan, and me. So as soon as the Brijbasis heard, this will make Krishna happy, immediately they did. Thus, the cowherd community did all that Madhusudan had suggested. Brahmanas were chanting mantras, and millions of piles of foodstuffs were all taken by bullock cart to Govardhan. Thus, as they were going towards Govardhan, all the Brijbasis were doing kirtan, and they offered mountains of rice, lakes of sweet rice, huge piles of sabjis and rotis. Everything they had, they offered to Govardhan. At that time, Krishna himself, Govardhan, took the form of Govardhan, and in a form with thousands of hands. Thus, with thousands and millions of hands, some were short to take the offerings that were very close, and some were very long to reach the offerings in the back. He ate all those offerings that had been given in every direction. Indeed, despite eating huge mountains of foodstuffs, Govardhan was not happy. And what did he say? Anayor, Anayor, give me more, give me more. And Krishna said, we did always do these things. Huh? Krishna said, we are poor, Brijbasis, we have nothing. Please be satisfied with what we give you. And then he gave one tulsi. Then Govardhan said, Triplo Sri. I'm very satisfied. So Manu Mango, Krishna's fat Brahmin friend, when he saw Govardhan eating everything, he became very sad. Come on, Krishna, man, at least when we worship it, we got something to eat at the end. And Krishna said, don't worry. Giriraj is very kind. Close your eyes. So when they closed their eyes, Manu Mango opened it, the food had doubled. Then Manu Mango became very happy. Really, Krishna, you spoke the truth, your Govardhan is the best. We gave him one, he gave us back two. Thus, together with all the Brijbasis, Krishna bowed to himself in the form of Govardhan mountain. Then Krishna said, just see how this mountain is bestowing his mercy upon us. We worshipped Indra for many years, but Indra never revealed himself to us. And the first time we worshipped Govardhan, we saw him directly, and he took our offerings with his own hands. Then Krishna said, this Govardhan hill can assume any form he wants, and he will kill anyone who neglects him. Therefore, let us pay our obeisances to him for the safety of ourselves and the cows. Thus, all the Brijbasis were very, very happy because Krishna was happy. And Govardhan said, choose any benediction you want. And what did the Brijbasis pray? We want one thing. What do we want? May Krishna be happy. May Krishna have a long life. Giriraj Dharan ki. Okay, Casey, don't pray for anything except Krishna's happy. So meanwhile, how was Indra feeling? He was steamed. He was completely fried. Then he began abusing Krishna. A very nice language he used. You can hear. Indra. When Indra understood that his sacrifice had been checked, and everyone in the cowherd men had worshipped, accepted Krishna as the supreme authority, and did everything under the guidance of Krishna, Indra could not tolerate. He sent his clouds of destruction and sun Mantar. It was at the end of every day at the end of every Manu, those clouds fill the universe with water up to the heavenly point, what they call sun Mantar. Therefore Indra was very angry. At that time Indra was destroying the universe just out of duty. Imagine what he does when he's angry. Indra began shouting, just see these foolish coward men. They have been living in the forest, and now they have become intoxicated by their wealth. They have surrendered to an ordinary human being, Krishna. Thus they have offended great personalities like myself. Thus, taking shelter of Krishna is about as useful as one who tries to cross the ocean of material existence on the tail of a dog. These cowherd men are envious of me. Thus they have taken shelter of this ordinary human boy named Krishna. Who is Krishna? Bacharam, Balisham, Sabdam, Agnam, Pandita Maninam, Krishna, Matinam, Pasuta, Gopime, Chakra, Apadipam, Priyams. Good abuse from Indra, nothing like a good bit of abuse to get the pastime moving. Who is Krishna? Bachalam, he talks too much. Balisham, he's very childish, foolish fellow. Sabdam, he's very proud. Agnam, ignorant fellow. Pandit Maninam, but he thinks himself a very learned person. Krishna, Martin, and Pasutam, and the Brijabasi is foolish. They have taken shelter. This ordinary Krishna who is subject to death, Gopame Chakram Apriyam. Because of being misled by Krishna, those Brijabasis have neglected him. So when someone abuses Krishna, can Saraswati, the goddess of learning, tolerate? Therefore another meaning came. Bachalam means Krishna talks too much. No. The Vedas talk constantly about him, but they cannot complete him. Therefore Bachalam. Balisham. Balisham means childish. But no, Krishna is very simple. Balisham. Stubborn, he is very proud. Why? Someone who is very proud never bows to anyone. Stubborn means what? There is no one else except Krishna in the whole creation, therefore who will Krishna bow to? Will anyone bow to themselves? No. Krishna has no one else to bow to because there is no one else except for him. Therefore stubborn. Ajnam, he is ignorance. He is ignorant. Ajnam means except for him there is nothing else to be known. Therefore, in that way, Ajnam. Pandit Manina. Krishna thinks himself to be a very big scholar. That is not the meaning. Pandit Manina means he is accepted by big scholars. Krishna Madhyama Pasuta Gopime Chakrapiya. So very nice. If you're abusing Krishna, but glorification is coming out by accident. So, I'll read it properly. Krishna is over talkative, speaking many audacious arguments in the line of Kalamamamsa and Sankhya philosophy. Even though he does not accept these arguments himself, he still gives them, therefore he is foolish. He is disrespectful because he is giving so many instructions even in the presence of his father. He is ignorant because all he can do is follow behind the cows. But he thinks himself to be very learned. Although I'm a demigod, they neglect me to honor him, a mere human being, thus they have offended me. Okay. So the insults of Indra, goddess Saraswati is actually praising Krishna. Thus, by Krishna's mercy, even a fool becomes Vachalam, expert in speaking the Vedas. According, stubborn means that Krishna bows down to no one because there is no one for him to offer homage to except himself. Ajna means there is nothing more than Krishna to know because Krishna is omniscient. If he doesn't know it, because he is omniscient and knows everything, there is nothing more for him to know. And Pandit Manana means that Krishna is honored by those who know the absolute truth. Thus, Indra is raving and at the same time making a fool of himself. Thus, he ordered the clouds to go there and destroy Braj. I will also come with my thunderbolt and we will wipe Vrindavan from the face of the earth. Thus, on Indra's order, the sun and attack the clouds. Can I ask still alive? Okay, hang in there. He's doing very well. I'm doing so much. Can I find it interesting? Okay. It's very hard now. Sitting 5 hours at a time. If you can do this when he's young age, that's what he'll do when he's older. So, on Indra's orders, the clouds went there to wipe Vrindavan from the face of the earth. Thus, the clouds released torrents of rain. The rainfall was thick as pillars. Thus, the cowed men cried as the whole of Vrindavan was flooded. Krishna, you've done it now. It's your fault. You have, because of you, we have offended Indra. So I heard, I did not hear personally, someone said, because they have said, that time Krishna said, no problem. Last night I had a dream. And Govardhan said, I'm very pleased by all your offerings. I will protect you. So the Brijabasi's prayed. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga Twamnatam Gokula Prabhu Dratyamadasi Devana Kupita Bhaktavatsala. O Krishna, O most fortunate one, you are the Lord of Gokul. Please protect us from the wrath of Indra. Okay, Jai Krishna? Hang in there. Thus, the Brijavasis came and surrendered to Krishna. Take shelter of us. Why? The Brijavasis remembered the words of Gargacharya. This morning he spoke.
What Maharaj?
No smoking.
Exactly what
They remembered the words of Gargacharya. Gargacharya said, if you protect Krishna, he will protect you. He will save you from all impediments. Actually, the Brijavasis never think Krishna is Bhagavan, but Gargacharya said that Krishna must be able to do something. That they surrendered to Krishna. They were practically unconscious. When Krishna saw the calves crying, and the baby calves shivering in the cold, and his eyes became red, and he thought, I will crush the pride of India. Thus, Krishna went and lifted Govardhan. How did he lift it? With his left hand. Left hand is the bad hand. What to do with your left hand? How to go? So anything you do with the left hand, that means you are neglecting it too much. So what did Krishna do? He lifted Govardhan with left hand. Which hand? Which finger? In the words of Bhagavat Swami Maharaj, Indra, defeating you is the work of my little pinky. Thus, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, lifted Govardhan hill up as easily as a child lifts a mushroom. Then Krishna called, all Brijavasi, come here. Everyone take shelter under Govardhan. Be free from fear. Do not think this mountain will fall from my hand. Do not be afraid of the wind and the rain. Govardhan will protect us in every way. So there's one. We could do parikram of Govardhan by the mind. For some reason that mic is not very loud.
Yeah.
Can you turn it up? For some reason it's not very loud. Do a little quickly because I think everyone doesn't have it.
Shri Govardhan Maharaj,
So how could millions of cows, millions of Brijavasis, billions and billions of gopis fit under Govardhan, who was only 3 miles across? Govardhan felt so much ecstasy being touched by the hand of Krishna. He expanded to 32 square miles, subject to touch of Krishna's hand. Govardhan, even though he was being pounded by the thunderbolts of Indra, because he was so happy being touched by Krishna, he felt that to be a light scratching on his back. He did not even pay any attention. Even though the thunderbolts of this world may fall, but asaya katamishta sravanti katayanticha. The devotee is always touched by the hand of Krishna, hearing Krishna Katha. The misery of this world will never touch them, never disturb them. So Krishna lifted Govardhan. Very happily the Brijavasis came under that. Jiva Goswami describes underneath Govardhan was everything was there. Fields of grass, houses, everything. 7 days the Brijavasis forgot about hunger and thirst, everything, and the fear of Indra by drinking the nectar of the beauty of Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna, by seeing the gopis, he also felt unlimited ecstasy. Therefore, hunger and thirst did not touch him also. So, Madhavendra Puri, he found the deity of Gopal. That deity is wonderful. He was lifting Govardhan with his left hand, but his eyes are down. Why? The devotees have explained that time when Krishna, the gopis were looking, Krishna glanced at Radharani. And Radharani glanced at Krishna, Krishna began shaking. So much ecstasy he felt seeing the beauty of Srimati Radhika. At that time, Baladev was also looking. When Krishna became embarrassed, maybe my big brother saw me glancing at the gopis, therefore he put his eyes down. May that Krishna who glances towards the ground out of shame or fear of Balaram, may that Gopal protect us. For the Brijavasi, that 7 days and 7 nights passed as if in a second. Sometimes Madhusudana, oh Krishna, you are a very restless boy. Therefore, you must be feeling great suffering. Give that mountain to me for a few days. I will hold. Madhusudana would say. Madhusudana would massage his arm. Oh Krishna, your arm is very tender like the stalk of a lotus. Why you acted like this now? You and so much. You are looking weak. And she would constantly feed Krishna by hand. Other Brijavasis like Madhumangal said, okay Krishna, don't become so proud. My mantra is lifting Govardhan. Don't worry. Some cowboys also with their sticks. Okay Krishna, take rest. We've got it now. Oh, Brijavasi wondering how this small, charming boy can lift Govardhan. So some Brijavasi are giving some honor. Well, you know what happens, cow dung. It looks very big, but it's very light. Therefore, cows have been passing cow dung for so long, Govardhan looks big, but it's not that actually heavy at all. That's how Krishna can. Govardhan, Goba means cow dung, Govardhan. None of our thinking because of my worship of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is holding. His strength has entered Krishna's arm. Therefore, my prayers to Vishnu is enabling Krishna to live. But often the gopis Radharani is saying, oh Govardhan, if you give any trouble to Krishna at all, I will break you to pieces by my glance. If the Govardhan really held by the glance of Radharani. So that 7 days and 7 nights passed like a second. 7 days and 7 nights the Brijabasis drank, had the festival of gazing at Krishna. That time there would be no impediment for the gopis to also do. Because everyone is looking, gopis looking also. What is the harm? The gopis at 7 days and 7 nights, they felt ecstasy, Krishna glancing at the Braja gopis, and the Braja gopis also glancing at Sri Krishna. Therefore Indra did a big sale, arranging that meeting of Krishna and the gopis. Meanwhile, after 7 days, Indra, he thought by now Vrindavan must have been completely destroyed. But when he went there, he became astonishing. Brijabasis having one festival. So much singing, music, dancing, laughing. What is that? And he saw nothing has happened to Vrindavan whatsoever. Even the animals that lived on Govardhan, when Krishna lifted him, they simply went above the crowds. So they also had no problem whatsoever. Indra used his full potency, he could not do anything. By Krishna's potency, all the rain that fell immediately evaporated anyway. After 7 days and 7 nights, the crowds came to Indra. Sorry, Lord, our tanks are empty. So we're going home. We could not do anything against Krishna's potency. Then Indra realized, yes, sir.
Is there some, I don't know if you might have already mentioned it, Lord
Chakra. Not Shiva was good up there. Chakra Shwamade, Lord Shiva said his chakra. No. Lord Narayan sent his chakra. Or Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva or Lord Narayan, I cannot remember. We sent that chakra kept the rain. There's many explanations. Because the chakra that is his Ishwar, so it's Lord Narayan's chakra, not Lord Shiva's chakra. Huh? The Sudarshan chakra kept all the rain off Govardhan. One explanation. Another explanation is another chef. He wrapped himself around the base camp so all the water would flow off that way. Many explanations of the same thing. Yes? Huh?
When you go to
Manasiganda. Because Lord Shiva always worships the Sudarshan chakra. Therefore his name is Chakra Shah. So, at the end of 7 days and 7 nights, Indra's pride was completely smashed. Therefore Krishna said, oh Brijabasis, take your cows, carts, everything, and leave Govardhan. The wind and the rain have stopped, and the high waters have subsided. Thus everyone went outside, and Krishna placed Govardhan exactly as he had left it. All the residents of Vrindavan were overwhelmed with ecstatic love for Krishna. Thus they all came to him as according to their individual relationships. Some came and shook hands, well done. Some came and blessed him, good work. Those boys who were smaller than Krishna came and did the pranam and embracing Krishna. Thus according to their individual relationship, all the Brijabasis glorified and pleased Krishna. Thus, Rohini and Nanda and Balaram all offered their blessings to Krishna. The demigods were watching the sky, they became amazed. Indra became very fearful. I have made a great offense. I tried to kill the Brijabasis and all the cows. What will happen? Who will save me? If I go near Krishna, it's all right, Lord, he's all right. Hey,
Yes, yes, yes.
Don't pick me up.
just leave him there, he's all right. Hey, shh.
It's gonna get into the sweets behind you.
That's all right, let him in more.
It's okay.
Diabetes. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Help yourself. I remember Buddha was in Jammu. He was on his bed chanting. A little boy like this used to come to Guru every morning and go, what are you doing? The Guru said, I'm doing bhajan. The boy would go, okay, very good, you keep doing. So, Indra became full of fear. Imagine, I tried to kill the Brajavasi. If I go near Krishna, maybe Krishna will Sudarshan chakra my head off. No reason for Krishna to find a replacement in India, believe me. India was full of fear, thinking how I can approach Krishna. Therefore, what did Indra do? He knew the cows are very dear to Krishna. So he brought the leader of the cows, her name was Surabhi. She went there, hiding behind Surabhi. Indra offered his prayers while hiding behind her. When Krishna saw the Surabhi cow, Krishna became happy. When Krishna was happy, then Indra popped up his head and offered his prayers. So in a nutshell, he explained, when you disturbed my sacrifice out of false ego, I became angry. You have shown mercy to me by breaking my pride. Thus you are true, you are the original spiritual master. Thus glorifying Indra Krishna in many ways. Then Surabhi began to speak. What did Surabhi say? Indra means king, Indra. So she said, Krishna, Krishna Mahayogin, Vishvatman, Vishvasambhavaha, Bhavatalo Kanatena Sanaten Vayam Machuta. Tvam Naha Paramakam Devam, Tvam Na Indro Jagapati, Bhavaya Bhavago Vipra, Devanam Yecha Sadhava. O Krishna, greatest of yogis, greatest of mystics. O soul of the universe, you are the master of the world, and you are also our master. This Indra is useless because he tried to kill us, all the cows. Therefore, we elect you as the Indra of the cows, king of the cows, protector of the cows. We kick this Indra out because he tried to kill all the cows in Vrindavan. Therefore, if anyone is our Indra, you are our Indra. Therefore, Krishna got the new name, Govinda, Indra of the cows. Yes, Krishna very happy that he got that name. Therefore, by this pastime, Krishna achieved many, many things. He pleased the gopis, broke the pride of Indra, and also he accepted a new name. That name is Govinda. Thus, Indra arranged the Abhishek.
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
Okay, where's the other
Thank you very much for the candy.
So, all the demigods performed the Abhishek of Sri Krishna. Did somebody go? All the demigods performed the Abhishek of Indra headed by Lord Brahma. Therefore, Ayurvata brought the Gangas from the heavenly planets, and many celestial liquids were poured on Krishna, as all the demigods worshipped him. That Chanamrit that came from Krishna that formed one kund, that kund is still there today. That kund is called Govinda Kund. Govinda Kund ki jai. Afterwards, Surabhi also worshipped Krishna, and the place where she worshipped Krishna, that place is called Surabhi Kund. Remember, every year we'd go there, we would have puris and chili sabji. On the bank of Surabhi Kund. Anyone who remembers Surabhi Kund who takes bath there becomes free from all offenses. Indra also took bath there, if I'm not mistaken. Therefore, Govardhan Lila ki jai, jai jai Sri Ram. Therefore, Krishna himself established the worship of Govardhan. When Krishna looked at Govardhan, what did he show the world? Where am I? I'm always found under the shelter of my pure devotees like Govardhan. Where is Krishna? He is in Sadhusan. He is in the Ashraya of Guru and pure Vaishnavas. He is nowhere else. Krishna performed unlimited pastimes. So tomorrow I want to keep Raslita except for Venudev and those ones for Saturday. I think many people will come on Saturday. Sunday. No problem. Okay, we'll see what happens. One more pastime tonight, even though this pastime comes earlier. I wanted to speak it a bit later. Krishna broke the pride of many, many persons, showing it's not easy to understand Krishna. even Brahma, Indra, Shiva, Varun, powerful yogis like Durvasa, even they could not enter and understand the pastimes of the Lord. There were those who tried to approach Bhagavan directly in Kali Yuga will not be successful. Therefore we approach Krishna under the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because in Kali Yuga only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives prem, no one else gives prem. Without prem, how you can enter Vrindavan? Therefore, Namo Mahavadana Krishna Prem Pradate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishna. In Kali Yuga, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing Braja Prem, the love of the Brijabasis for Krishna. No one else is distributing. Other sampradayas not distributing. Even before Madhvacharya, this was not here. Therefore, Yata Yata Gaura Padara. Vichaja Dharmam Parichaja Vishnu. Vichaja Dharmam Parichaja Vedam Vina Gaura Priya Padasenam Vedanta Duspapti Padanti Vadanti. You may worship Vishnu, means Krishna also. You may follow Varnashram Dharma. You may worship the deity and read the Vedas, but unless you take shelter of the feet of the devotee who is very dear to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you cannot achieve that prema which even the Vedas cannot find. Even Brahma and Shiva could not be successful without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, afterwards they all came in Gauranga's Lila to taste the prema for Krishna. So amongst, there are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. And the top in our Sampradaya is coming from Lord Brahma. Because Brahma is pure devotee. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu happily accepted this Sampradaya. Also, because Lord Brahma had so much respect for Radharani especially, we will hear in his prayers. For that reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted this pastime. So another demon, his name was Agasura. Aga means sin personified. Agadamanaya Sodanandana Nandasuna Kutokna. That is named Gopi Nayana Kamalan. What is it? Gopi Chanda Kamalanaya. Vrindavan. These are prayers of Rupa Krishna. Krishna is known as Agadamana, one who defeated the Agasura demon. Like sinful activity swallows your intelligence. In the same way, Agasura took the form of a huge python. And he lay across the road with his tongue extended like a red carpet. When the Brijabasis, the cowherd boys, walked past that huge snake that had looked like a mountain cave, but one foul smell was coming forth. That was Agasura's breath. Because he was non-vegetarian. The cowherd boys thought, how wonderful, we have never seen this cave before. It looks just like a huge snake. But how could any snake be that big? And anyway, if there is some problem, Krishna will save us. The cowherd boys went in and oversaw, killed them all by his breath. Sometimes when you're speaking to someone, you know what that's like. Krishna himself entered the mouth of Agasura. By his glance, again he gave him life. Agasura tried to swallow Krishna. And Krishna vein lodged in his throat and began to expand. Agasura could not breathe. Therefore his life airs popped out the top of his skull. Is it when babies are born, have you noticed that yucky hole that's in the top? Have you noticed babies got that huge hole? Oh.
Why is it yucky?
Huh?
Why is it yucky?
It's just like jelly, it's so soft. So that is called Brahma, what's it called? Brahma Rab. What was it called? Brahma Rab. Perfected yogis at the time of death enter through there and go straight to the upper planets. Persons who are demonic, when they leave their bodies, where do they leave from? Like Elvis Presley, where did he die? On the toilet. That means straight express train to the low planets. That is not a good way to leave through the back door. Devotees, of course, devotees are independent, but generally we see devotees leave by mouth. Hare Krishna. That is the most auspicious. Then yogis leave by the top of the head. Some people who die accidentally, they leave through the eyes. And it's very bad. Some years ago, someone was killed in a car accident, their eyes were like that. And Guru Maharaj, when he heard this, very auspicious to leave by the eyes. So best is by mouth, second best is top of the head, last is back door. How did Agasura leave? With the top of the head like a perfected yogis. And why not perfection? Because Krishna was there inside him. Like the Padamaka. Agasura, first he made his place a heart for the devotees, the Vijayabasis, then Krishna came down afterwards. So when Krishna came out of the mouth of Agasura, the soul of Agasura was moving in the sky. When the soul of Agasura entered into the feet of Krishna. So Lord Brahma was watching. Some said Lord Brahma wanted to examine Krishna. Who is this coward? Guru Maharaj said Brahmaji had a desire to see more pastime. But anyway, whatever it may be, Srila Guru Maharaj used to say to test, so you cannot neglect what he says also. All Vaishnavas have their own angle of vision, like a diamond has many facets. So Brahmaji had a desire to see more pastimes. It's just amazing too much. So what did he do? After killing Agasura, all the cowherd boys and cowherd Krishna and all the cowherd boys went for lunch underneath that Bandiravat tree. One Krishna and millions of boys, how they serve. How they get a chance for souls. Yoga Maya reigns with each boy thought Krishna was sitting with him. And each boy would say, he would take a bite, hey, Krishna, this one is very good. Take, push in the mouth of Krishna. This is very unclean. Of course, they are parikas, so everything they do is pure. But in this world, to bite something pushing someone's mouth is very rude, very bad manners. You want to get a black eye, go around there when you get off the plane in Delhi and do it yourself. So Brahmaji, he was thinking, what is this? Who is this Krishna? Is the Supreme Lord? Very hard to understand. So in order to see more pastimes or whatever it may be, Lord Brahma stole the calves. The boys began weeping, Krishna, where have the calves gone? If we return home without the calves, imagine what our parents will say, what a scolding we will get. That is our duty to protect the calves. The boys became full of anxiety. Krishna said, you guys stay here and finish your lunch, I will go. So when Krishna left, then Brahmaji came and stole the rest of the calves. Then when Krishna, he could not find the calves, he could not find the boys, for a moment he appeared as if bewildered. He began crying and moving here and there, looking. Oh, Subal, Sridham, where are you? Where are you? So Krishna still had his lunch in his hand. Sometimes I see devotees eating, standing up and eating. This is very low class. Only cows and dogs eat standing up. Human beings eat sitting down. So don't do it. So Krishna is moving around, standing up. He has food in his left hand. This is also very bad. Some yogurt and chicken rice and yogurt here, and some chilies and pickles in each finger, and eating like this, and moving around. Then Brahmaji is thinking, this is Bhagavan, come on. Bhagavan is told, Yagya Purush, accept the offerings only of Yagya. Means the Brahman is very pure after bathing 15 times, soaping everything, fresh cloth. Very pure and very carefully they offer their offerings to Bhagavan in the form of the Yagya. And even then, Krishna taking it out, who knows? And this same Yagya Purush, Bhagavan, Krishna is walking around eating with his left hand and eating the remnants of low-class cowherd boys. And these boys, this is winter time, they're taking bath every day or not. This is no guarantee also. Covered with dust from the cowherd boy means complete jungle, villager. Ground body swachisitam, just like a village person. Villages are not very clean. So So Brahma's mind became full of doubt. What is this? This is Bhagavan. What type of Bhagavan is this? So whatever it may be, he stole the cows. For a moment, Krishna was bewildered. Then he could understand this is Brahma trying to test him. In 1 second from his body, Krishna manifested exactly the same number of calves, exactly the same number of boys, exactly everything identical. Their speech, their cloth, their ropes, their sticks, their individual idiosyncrasies, everything exactly the same. Why? What it did. All the cows love Krishna like a mother. But even though someone comes and milks them and gives their milk to Krishna, they're not very happy about it. They want directly Krishna will drink milk from them. So all cows were unhappy. I wish Krishna would become my son. All the young gopis also unhappy. We want to marry Krishna. But how possible only one Krishna? How we can marry him? Unfulfilled desire of all the young gopis. And all the old elder gopis and gopis were all thinking, I wish Krishna was my son. We're feeling that Krishna is my son, but I wish he actually was our son. So what did Krishna do? By this pastime he fulfilled everyone's desires. He personally became all the calves and all the boys. So that year was announced by Gargacharya. Now is a very good time for marriage. All gopis, no matter how young they are, should marry. So Gargacharya, that all the marriages were arranged, and all those young gopis who had been married, Krishna in the form of the other cow boys. Krishna fulfilled their desires. And when all the calves came, they ran. And all the cows began licking those calves as if to eat them. So much affection. Why? Their calves were now Krishna. What to speak of the love of the old gopis and gopis. 1 year they did like this. No one could understand. But the Guru Maharaj explained there were 3 sets of cow boys. The original or spiritual form of the cow boys cannot even be seen by Lord Brahma properly, what to speak of soul. That the Yoga Maya arranged for them to go into the dust. But they could not understand. Yoga Maya all powerful. Then Brahma kidnapped a false set of cow boys made by Maya. So how many sets now? When Krishna manifested himself as all the cows and cow boys, how many sets? 3. Getting confused? No wonder Brahmaji was confused. With the real cowboys this time. So as Brahmaji stole and put them in the cave, then Brahmaji went back to his own planet. Changed his cloth for this one. So when he got there, then the gatekeeper went, wait, and whacked, get out of here! And Brahma was astonished. What's wrong with this guy? Don't you know who I am? I'm your Lord and Master Brahma, the control of the universe. And the gatekeeper said, yeah, none further said. Our Lord Brahma is inside. And he said, you guys be careful. Soon one fake Brahma will come. Don't let him inside. And Brahma was astonished. He meditated and he realized who was inside, who had stolen his position. Krishna says in Gita, I surrender. According to your surrender, I do unto you. Do unto others as I do unto you. Krishna stole his devotees, therefore Krishna stole everything from him. That happened in 1 second. When Brahmaji came back, he saw everything was just as before. Same boys, same cows, same Krishna, everything. And Brahma looked in the cave, the boys were still there. And Brahma is the creator of this world. He said, I did not create the second set of boys. Who have they come from? Where have they come from?